So, what happens the first day in court? That actually depends on whether you have a lawyer or not. But let's go with the first scenario. Uh, let's assume you don't have a lawyer. What most people should do is the first day in court is it's called just an arraignment, and the vast majority of the time, and this applies particularly to first and second offenses. If you show up, the court's going to release you, and they're not going to ask for any bail or anything. You don't have to worry about being held or thrown in jail or anything like that. All that'll happen is you'll show up at the court, they will officially read the charges to you, and they'll enter a plea of not guilty for you. And it's generally wise to ask for a copy of the police report. The reason for that is that's something that you'll want to be able to either bring to a lawyer's office or fax to a lawyer, because that really gives the officer's side of the case, and once a lawyer takes a look at the police report, they should have a pretty good idea of how good or bad the case is. And what typically happens is they will give you a court date, usually a month or 2 months out for the pretrial, and that gives you time to sort everything out. Now, what happens if this is a multiple offense, a third or subsequent offense? Well, most likely they are still going to just release you on your own recognizance and have you come back another court date. But there is some chance that a judge will either set a high bail for you, or there's also some chance that a judge will ask for what's called a dangerousness hearing, where what they'll actually do is they'll hold you without bail for a few days and then have a hearing to determine whether you should be released or not. There are several reasons why there's an advantage to having an attorney there on your first court date. The first is it's just going to be a very stressful experience, and having someone there to walk you through it is generally going to make you feel a lot better. Also, if you've decided which attorney you want to go with, for example, let's suppose you were to hire us for the first court date. Sometimes having us there, if we want to fight the case, having us there for the first court date can make the whole process go faster, just because we get to pick whatever court date we want, and it also gives us a chance to look at the police report right away and see what's going on. Now, what some people want to do is, some percentage of my clients, when we go over the case, they just say, you know what, I just want to get this over with as quickly as possible. For most of those clients are first offenders, and what we can do in those cases is work out a deal and then get them a hardship license. And the quickest way to do that is for us to be there at the first court date. And lots of times, for the right client in the right case, that's what we do. We work out a deal right away, and it's not unusual that a week or a week and a half after the arraignment, our client who has lost their license either because they refused the breath test or they failed the breath test is once again back on the road, so they can get to and from their job, they can get to and from school, they get to be able to drop their kids off at soccer practice or whatever. So for clients like that, the quicker the better to sort of get them back on track with the rest of their life.